the more and more that I've been thinking about it, the more and more I've seen I've seen The Last Jedi, like the 3 times I've seen The Last Jedi in theaters, the more and more I realize, even though I still don't mind The Last Jedi as much as some other fans do, there are like so many parts of the movie where I would have changed, which I may or may not bring up points that I made in my last Star Wars rant video up in here. So sorry if I am kind of repetitive. But I'm sorry, Nemo. I didn't mean to scare you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry, I scared my cat when I hit my leg. Anyways, but yeah, there are so many like people that part about Canto Bite could have and should have been cut shorter. I personally would have liked to see Luke Skywalker grieve Han Solo's death after he found out from Rey and Chewbacca, hey, Han Solo died. Ben Solo, Kylo Ren, killed his own father in The Force Awakens. And the third lesson, it would it would been somewhat nice to see the third lesson in the final cut of The Last Jedi, but yet again, I'm not really heartbroken about that. The only part that I would have to say that I'm really heartbroken from the entire Star Wars movie is Ryan Johnson decided to kill off Luke Skywalker. I mean, and he didn't even do it for a good reason, supposedly, because he was trying to make room for the new by getting out the old. Which I'm not calling Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, or Harrison Ford old, but you know what I mean. They wanted to remove the original trilogy characters, the exception of R2D2 and C3PO, just so they can replace the old characters with the newer characters, like with Rose, Finn, Rey, Poe, etc. And that's not exactly a good reason. Now, granted that there are worse ways that Luke Skywalker could have died in the movie, that doesn't really make it any better. I mean, in the original script, like in George Lucas' draft for the original for this sequel trilogy some time ago, it was supposed to be Luke Skywalker teaching Leia the ways of the Force and having Luke die in Episode 9. I'm okay with Luke not like us not seeing Luke teaching Leia how to use the Force in this trilogy, only because it's been like 30 years since The Last Jedi that we've seen Leia and Han. And if it was like what 10 years later after Return of the Jedi was made, and they said, "Hey, we're gonna make a new trilogy, a sequel trilogy, where Leia's gonna use the Force. I mean, learn how to use the Force a lot better than she was, as we've seen in the original trilogy. Was thing, the only times where we've seen Leia using the Force, remotely using the Force." And I'm sorry if this Star Wars rant is in at the moment. I promise I will try and make it better throughout the video. Episode 5, we seen Leia only sensing that Luke was in danger. She heard Luke calling out her name to the Force. Episode 6, she sensed that Luke didn't die on the Death Star. Episode 7, sorry. We saw her sensing Kylo Ren killing Han Solo. Episode 8, we saw Leia and Rey sensing that Luke has died, and we saw Leia also using the Force to, as she would gravitate herself to the ship. So that also gives me an indication that Leia Luke trained Leia in the ways of the Force, kinda. Be interested in seeing more of that in the Resistance show that Dave Filoni is going to do. But anyways, I'm kind of deviating from my point. What was my point? Oh yeah, but to have Luke Skywalker die in Episode 8, I think it was kind of like a poor decision. And I'm trying to think about how I can put this the best way. And I apologize if so far you guys are saying, this Star Wars rant videos in the moment. I apologize. But I was okay with Luke being the grumpy old man that he was in episode 8. Only because there was still episode 9 where, and I'm saying this in a perfect world where Ryan Johnson did not decide to kill off Luke Skywalker. We could have seen Luke Skywalker be like the energetic, hopeful character we saw in the original trilogy. And now, really get that. I mean, technically we can, because he can come back as a Force ghost. And I already made my in my last Star Wars rant video, I already expressed my feelings towards how like there was news about Yoda possibly returning in episode 9, and I expressed my feelings towards that in my last Star Wars rant trailer, so check that out when you guys have a chance. And I'm going to kind of be brief about that too. Yoda making a cameo in episode 8, The Last Jedi, was okay. It made sense because he gave. I feel like Yoda's role in episode 8 was to give Luke hope that, yeah, you screwed up. With Kylo Ren, but you should take that screw up and make it your lesson and get off your sorry ass and go help the resistance beat the first order and be, yeah, pretty much help the resistance beat the first order, which I was okay with Yoda making a cameo in episode 8 for that reason. Episode 9, I as much as I like Yoda and he's one of my favorite characters of all time, I honestly don't want to see Yoda in episode 9. I will be. I actually want to see if they're going to bring back Force Ghosts outside of Luke Skywalker. Bring in Anakin's Force Ghosts. I mean, Obi-Wan. I don't know how they'll exactly do Obi-Wan. Either they'll make like Ian McGregor come back to do Force Ghost Obi-Wan, or do what they did with Tarkin and Leia in Rogue One: A Star Wars Story, and like have somebody else be Leia. Wait, somebody else be Tarkin and Leia, but have their faces CGI to have their voice sound like Leia and Tarkin. I can kind of see that be the same case for Obi-Wan in episode 9 if they just bring Obi-Wan back as a Force Ghost, but like I said, I prefer to see Anakin come back, because between Yoda, Obi-Wan, Anakin, and hell, I gotta say, regardless if they bring one of those three characters back as First Ghost, I still want Luke Skywalker to be back as a First Ghost because it makes sense. So it can also, Luke Skywalker can also help Leia with the Resistance within like the first 5 minutes of the movie. And But no, what I was gonna say is I'll be okay with if Luke furthers Rey's education in the ways of the Jedi. That'd be cool to see Luke Skywalker come back as a Force Ghost. Just saying, ideas, Lucasfilms. But my point about Anakin being back in Episode 9 was really cool. And yes, bring Hayden Christensen, and I get Hayden Christensen would be kind of nervous being back in Star Wars because I've heard a lot of fans kind of chewed him and Jake Lloyd out when the prequels were still new. And the reason why I would like to see Anakin in Episode 9 is because we all know, even if you haven't seen the prequels, if you've seen the original trilogy, you get a hint of what you hear Obi-Wan telling you, like a brief summary in like A New Hope and debatedly in Return of the Jedi, when it was telling Luke how Anakin turned to the dark side and became Darth Vader. I feel like since Han tries to convert Kylo Ren back to the light side, Luke Skywalker debatedly tried at the end of The Last Jedi. Leia could potentially, if they decide to like recast Leia or CGI her, like CGI Carrie Fisher's face over this new actress's face who's gonna play Leia in Episode 9, which I don't know what they're gonna do with Leia, to be honest. I'm honestly trying to stay clear from any news about what they're doing with Leia for Episode 9 because I want to be surprised. I mean, outside of Leia, which could potentially be the best chance for Kylo Ren to come back to the light side, because we could see as Jedi, Kylo Ren was going to shoot the command bay where Leia was on, but he didn't, and somebody else did, and we saw Leia using the Force to gravitate herself back to the ship. But outside of Leia, I feel like Anakin would be the best bet to turn Kylo Ren back to the light side, only because, it's because Anakin was the first Skywalker in the Skywalker bloodline to be a Jedi, right? And then to be swayed to the dark side. And to actually turn to the dark side, which I guess swayed and turned is the same thing. And then the final acts of his life was to save his son, which you can say he turned back to the light side, which actually no, it's a definite. He did definitely turn back to the light side towards the end of his life. Especially since we've seen Force Ghost Anakin standing next to Force Ghost Yoda and Obi-Wan on Endor while Luke was looking at the three of those Force Ghosts. I wonder if Leia saw the Force Ghosts too. Maybe, I don't know. You know, this kind of turning into less of a Star Wars rant. Point is, if you're gonna bring back Yoda, Obi-Wan, or Anakin into Episode 9, bring back Anakin, please, because that would make the most sense, especially since Kylo Ren praises Darth Vader as a god, and Anakin, since he was Darth Vader, he can relate to Ben or Kylo Ren the most out of like anybody in the Star Wars, in this new Star Wars trilogy per se. And two, where the hell is Lando in this new trilogy? I want to know, because he wasn't in the Force Awakens, which, to be honest, I'm honestly kind of happy that Lando wasn't in the Force Awakens, only because it would have seemed too cluttered to have Lando in The Force Awakens. In The Last Jedi, I mean, granted that Lando's going to be in that Han Solo movie that nobody asked for that's coming out in 3 weeks. Lando wasn't in The Last Jedi. And they had a pretty good chance of having Lando come back in The Last Jedi. Really, they did with the Codebreaker thing. Maybe have like well, Finn, Poe, and Rose was talking to Missa. Crap. That pretty much knew Master Yoda was a female of the new trilogy. Maz Kanata, there we go. Maz Kanata. Maybe either have them talk to Lando besides talking to Maz Kanata, or have them, while talking to Maz Kanata, also be in like a galactic FaceTime with Lando Calrissian, still have Maz Kanata having the same role as she did, and then having her transmission cut out before Lando cuts out his transmission, saying, I don't know about this, guys. I don't know if you guys should do this. Kind of be like saying, yeah, you could go to Canto Bight, get the Shadow Broker, but I don't know if you guys should do this. Kind of being that old wise, smooth type of guy. Kind of like trying to warn Finn, Rose, and Poe to not do this, but do it all smooth like. Because, Lando is pretty smooth. So they kind of missed an opportunity to use Lando in The Last Jedi. Now, I'm really hoping that they will actually bring back Billy D. Williams so he can be Lando Calrissian again in Episode 9. Because if they bring back Lando in Episode 9, then I feel like some of the fans' trust that was lost because not Daisy Ridley, because Daisy Ridley's hot, by the way, but no, because Kathleen Kennedy's statements, J.J. Abrams' statements, Ryan Johnson's statements, like some of the statements that those three people made are offensive, which I kind of covered in my last video, Star Wars Rant video. Plus, I know a lot of fans' trust in Kathleen Kennedy and was kind of also lost their trust in Lucasfilm. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Pretty much when Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilms were saying, "Hey, we're making a Han Solo movie," some of the fans' trust in both Lucasfilms and Disney and Kathleen Kennedy was gone. But it was mainly Kathleen Kennedy, though, because she's trying to genderize the Force without getting into a bit. But, yeah, so The Force Awakens that's my point with Lando. In The Force Awakens, it was understandable why he wasn't in The Force Awakens. The Last Jedi, there was, I feel, a few times in the entire movie where they could have brought Lando in, and they didn't. And I feel like Lando would have benefited the story somewhat. And then, now that Episode 9 is coming out in a year, it'll be extremely beneficial for them to bring Lando back. Yeah, bring Luke back too, because I want to see Luke come back. But, as a Force Ghost. Plus, bring Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker. But as a ghost, please. I am begging you. Please. Because that would be awesome. See Anakin and Luke in the same movie, Force Ghosts. Mark Hamill, Hayden Christensen in the same movie is standing next to each other. Be awesome because I don't really count Return of the Jedi because by the time Return of the Jedi came out, I'm pretty sure Hayden Christensen wasn't born yet. I know I wasn't born when the original trilogy, plus the holiday special was out. But I was born when, like, by the time Phantom Menace came out, but I was like about 3 years old when the Phantom Menace came out, and so I didn't know like over half the things that was going on in the world. Anyways, I kind of blab really on. Point is, I feel Luke Skywalker bringing Luke Skywalker is a must. Anakin Skywalker bringing in Anakin Skywalker, please. Bringing Lando Calrissian is definitely a must. Because they didn't have him in Force Awakens, understandably. They didn't have him in The Last Jedi, which told them their chance to. It was, now I think about it, it's probably better that they didn't have Lando in The Last Jedi, seeing how what they, like, since they had Captain Phasma in one scene, and it was only in for like 7 minutes where they had Captain Phasma in The Last Jedi, and they killed her off. At least, unless if J.J. Abrams decides to retcon that, as far as we know, or I know, Captain Phasma is dead, unfortunately. But in Episode 9, on top of bringing Luke Skywalker back, Lando Calrissian is a big must. And speaking of Lando Calrissian, a lot of people are I feel like I'm not. It's boycotting. I was gonna say petitioning, but that's the wrong word. It's gonna boycott the Solo a Star Wars movie when it comes out in 3 weeks because many fans would. I don't blame them. I can see their point of why they think Rian Johnson kind of like ruined Star Wars for them for Episode 8. And they're kind of pissed off that Lucasfilm's not listening to them. And to be honest, I am too. Because if Kathleen Kennedy wanted to expand the Star Wars fan base, then yes, try to create new movies, and who knows? I'm gonna get blasted for this, and I'm saying this only because I have like extremely low expectations of the Han Solo movie. Maybe it'd be better than I expect it to be, and but yeah, the reason why some fans are going to boycott the Solo movie because they're fed up with Lucasfilms, or more like Kathleen Kennedy than anybody else on the Disney/Lucasfilm team. Because I felt the same way too. She's more focused on what she exactly wants, besides what the fans wants, and it's all business, right? It's actually all business. The movie industry is a business. Let's say if I was gonna make a Star Wars movie, and let's assume that nobody was gonna make an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. As a fan, I want to have an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, and I might throw an idea out there. I might say, "Hey guys, hey fellow Star Wars fans, I'm gonna make a Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. I'm planning to make an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. If there are a lot of people who are saying, no, that's a stupid idea. An Obi-Wan Kenobi movie is a stupid idea. I don't want an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. If the majority of the fans were saying no, they don't want a Star Wars, a Kenobi movie, then I wouldn't make a Kenobi movie. I will kind of go back to the drawing board, like saying, okay, what other character would the fans want? Because at the moment, the only movies that the fans I fear like a lot of fans want are between like two movies, or one's actually a character, one's actually a time era. The first one, Obi-Wan Kenobi, which I am one of those people that wants an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. Two, which I'm also in this category, one an Old Republic movie. And who knows, maybe in the Rian Johnson's trilogy, we could get a Old Republic trilogy. And speak of which I watched a lot of the Geeks and Gamers videos, and Jeremy, this guy named Jeremy, who usually does the videos, he was saying that Rian Johnson, which before I continue, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, thank you for making those videos, because I watched your every one of your Star Wars videos, and I agree with at least I agree with at the very least 90% of your points. If that makes sense, if that statement makes sense, I hope it makes sense. But there was I think it was last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, where Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers was saying that we should totally should check the YouTube channel out, Geeks and Gamers. But Jeremy said on Geeks and Gamers that Rian Johnson was saying there needs to be less white men and less white men on making Star Wars movies. And Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers was saying, okay, if you want to see a change, be the change. And even though Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers was referring to Rian Johnson, if you so badly want to see more people of color making Star Wars movies, then back out of making this new trilogy or Star Wars movie, whatever, and let somebody else do it, which I have to agree with Jeremy. But I just feel like if you're going to complain, if you want to see a change, and if you're going to complain about it, just do it. Anyways, be that change, as Jeremy says. Anyways, I'm trying to think of other points I want to say, because I don't know why, but this video I'm kind of poorly saying my points, per se. And I apologize if I am. If you guys can hear all my points, yay, thank God. If I'm too confusing in this video, I apologize. Just Star Wars is more than just a movie to me. Star Wars it's kind of like a home away from home, and I'm passionate about it, and maybe I haven't really expressed enough passion about Star Wars in this video, but like when Kathleen Kennedy, no, J.J. Abrams was saying, if you don't like The Last Jedi, you are sexist. That's offensive, because I have a few friends who dislike The Last Jedi, and I'm okay with people having different opinions about me. Let's talk. Let's have a healthy debate, because I always like to have healthy debates, especially when it comes to Star Wars and the MCU. But going as far as saying, oh, if you don't like The Last Jedi, you must be sexist. Or even better yet, if people say, and I'm not saying there are anybody that are saying this, but I'm just using the example. I'm just saying, but if anybody says, "Oh, if you don't like Wonder Woman, you must be sexist," like, hold the phone. If nobody, at least not in their right mind, would dislike Wonder Woman because the main lead is a girl, no. Same with The Last Jedi. Same with any other movie that has a female lead. Or like same goes for any thing goes for anybody. Pretty much just because you don't like a movie, and if that mainly is a female, male, or a person of color, that doesn't. And if you don't like that movie, and if that person doesn't like the movie, doesn't mean that they're sexist. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. So, I mean, I'm still a fan of J.J. Abrams' Star Trek movies. I'm still a fan of The Force Awakens, even though that was really offensive for what J.J. Abrams said. And I wish I could say that I would follow those people or not follow Star Wars story to petition or whatnot. Not petition, but you know what I mean. Not going to use their money that they worked, that they hardly they that they earned to see the solo Star Wars movie, but I'm not gonna lie to myself. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think I deserve enough self-respect. I just and you guys deserve enough of my respect for me not to lie to you guys. So with that said, I won't say that I will not see the Last Jedi. Not last. That I will not see the Han Solo movie because Star Wars is my one kryptonite. And as bad as I don't want to see the Solo movie, because it's a movie where nobody wanted, and Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, right? If you want to access to Lucasfilms and have your voices heard, then don't see these Solo movie, which I'm not anti or pro taking like not. It's not really petitioning. I just keep on forgetting the word. But I have faith that you guys who know what I mean. Like taking a stand, but not going to movie. In this case, a solo, a Star Wars story. And like I said, I wish I could say I will be one of those people, but I cannot because I don't want to lie to anyone, especially myself. And knowing me, I will see the solo Star Wars story. But I will make a I will make a review, letting you guys know what I feel about the solo movie. I I got really low expectations for it, and a lot of people are saying, which I think I made this point in my last video too. Might as well have had it a Lando movie because everybody's excited for the Lando Calrissian in this movie, which I have to agree. And my brother was saying Lando has had less screen time than Han Solo, so it would have made more sense to have Lando or Calrissian a Star Wars story than Solo a Star Wars story, which made sense, but I don't want to like have too much faith in Donald Glover, because like with Han Solo, like how Harrison Ford's performance with Han Solo was. Billy D. Williams kind of set the bar pretty high when it comes to Lando. And so Donald Glover has a pretty high standard to meet. And I hope he either meets that high standard that I have or surpasses it. And like I said, I am hoping to see Lando Billy Williams come in episode 9. Oh yeah, so here's the movies I want to see. For Star Wars, Kenobi, Old Republic, make it a trilogy. Have Yoda cameo in like at least one, maybe all 3 movies. That way, you can please some of the fans who may want to see a Yoda origins. This way, it will kind of deal with Yoda's origins a little bit. What else? I'm trying to think of others. So I said Yoda, no, not Yoda. The Old Republic, Obi-Wan. Maybe Ahsoka, just maybe. I don't know. I just have to think about it more with Yoda. Not Yoda, Ahsoka. I would say a Darth Vader movie, but we technically got 3 of those, and that they are considered prequels. Jar Jar having a Jar Jar Binks movie would be a better idea than than a Han Solo movie. To be honest, excuse me. We already technically got a sequel to Rogue One, which is the original Star Wars movie. People, seriously, people. But oh yeah, so I feel like Kathleen Kennedy is not, and I don't really like throwing jabs at people, but I feel like Kathleen Kennedy is not really a Star Wars fan per se, or she's purposely not thinking of the fans as much. Because if she was, then she will actually listen more to the fans, and she will have realized like about what 2 years ago, I want to say that okay, the fans do not want a Han Solo movie. Let's go listen to the fans. Let's make a Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. Everybody seems to want an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. Everybody seems to want Ian McGregor, me being part of everyone, to come back to reprise his role as Obi-Wan. And to be honest, and I was making this comment earlier about me not minding The Last Jedi as much as other people did. And I have to agree with some YouTubers that I watch, that I follow. They say that The Last Jedi actually split the fandom a lot more than like what the prequels did. Which I have to agree, because some fans really hates the movie, some fans likes the movie. I'm kind of like in between where I like it, but I'm not gonna let that. And what I mean that they like, some fans that likes it, not all, are saying, "Oh, The Last Jedi is a perfect Star Wars movie." I'm not one of those fans. I'm actually one of those people, like one of those fans that are saying, "Yes, I don't mind The Last Jedi, but it's not the perfect Star Wars movie by 4. To me, it's not the worst Star Wars movie, because my least favorite is Attack of the Clones, and I might, out of me disliking that movie, say that that's the worst Star Wars movie. But that's just my opinion, and I would respect your guys' opinions about. No. The Last Jedi is the worst Star Wars movie, or Return of the Jedi, Attack of the Clones, Phantom Menace, Rogue One, and Revenge of the Sith, A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, The Clone Wars is the worst Star Wars movie. I will respect your guys' views, and in general, regardless if I'm making a Star Wars movies or not, if you guys disagree with me about something, I respect that. But please don't say, "Oh, I disagree with you," because that's lame. You piece of shit, and blah blah blah. Don't just say, "Oh, I disagree with you on that." Please, kind of tell me why you disagree, because I would like to know the reasoning behind why you guys disagree. But Ryan Johnson is not taking ownership of him making any mistakes in the Last Jedi. And Kathleen Kennedy, to make it worse, she's backing Ryan Johnson up. Which I'm sorry guys. I hate to tell you to this and possibly J.J. Abrams from that, oh, if you don't like The Last Jedi, you must be sexist. The Last Jedi is not the perfect movie. Or the perfect Star Wars movie. Because it has some flaws. And I already listed some of the flaws in this, like towards the beginning of this video, and in my last Star Wars Rant video, and actually I don't know why I'm having a hard time remembering the stuff I was going to say in this video, because there was a lot I wanted to talk about, and for some reason I'm slowly forgetting, and that's just sad, really, really sad. But I have no problem with people not wanting to see any movie, like just to send a message to that studio, because that's your choice. And if you do decide not to see that movie, just make a stand, send a message to that specific studio. That's okay. That I'm clapping for you right now. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm happy for you. But if you are going to see the movie in theater, and I'm referring to the Solo movie at the moment, that's also power to you. I respect whichever decision you make. I'm not gonna say, oh, if you don't see the Han Solo movie, you're stupid. No. Just no. Because that would be immature of me to say. That would be rude of me to say. So, whichever decision you make about seeing the Han Solo movie or not, I'll support you guys saying, okay, that person has their reasons. Me, I wish I could say I'm not going to watch the movie, but as we established earlier, multiple times, I'm going to see it. Anyways, I don't know why I'm sorry that this video is like, eh. If there's a next time, if there's a Star Wars Rant 3 video, please, bear with me. I will do my best to have it be better than this, because I just apologize if this was like compared to like, especially compared to like the last Star Wars Rant video I made. Oh yeah, before I close off, I want to talk about the Resistance show. Star Wars Resistance is the name of the show, and from the name, you can safely place like in between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, and it's going to most likely be about. It's most likely going to have Poe Dameron, Princess Leia, Han Solo, Luke Skywalker. Or at least Leia, anyways, out of the three characters. I'm hoping it will have C-3PO and R2-D2. And to be honest, it made sense why R2 and C-3PO wasn't in Rebels. Well, they were, but like with Obi-Wan, they were only in like one episode to make a cameo. And speaking of Lando, since I also want to see, on top of me wanting to see Lando come back in in episode 9, whatever that's called. I want to see Lando come back in the Resistance. I mean, thankfully we were able to see Lando to come back in episode. I mean, in Rebels, a few episodes in Rebels, and we even got to hear Billy D. Williams' voice as Lando. And since Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford is still alive, they could voice Luke Skywalker and Han Solo. And it's kind of sad that Mark Hamill isn't really that interested in Star Wars anymore, because one of the like recent interviews, like last month, Mark Hamill did say that he kind of lost some interest in Star Wars, like since they killed off Han Solo in The Force Awakens, and unfortunately, and rest her soul, Carrie Fisher's dead. And I guess Mark Hamill just feels less motivated or less interested, whatever the proper term in this case, towards Star Wars. And they killed off Luke Skywalker, which I don't know if that's what he said in the interview. I'm probably just making that open my head, but they also killed off Luke Skywalker, which technically they can always bring him back in episode 9 as the Force Ghost. So I understand why Mark Hamill is feeling the way he feels. And to be honest, let's say if I was working on a movie and one of my dearest, I was working two of my dearest friends, two of my many dearest friends, and one of them had the unfortunate passing. The other one's character in one of the previous movies died. I probably feel the same way as Mark Hamill. So going back to the Resistance, they're also doing it in a different art style. They're doing Resistance in an anime art style, which is, and Dave Filoni is coming back to do this show, which I'm I'm excited. I am willing to see where this goes. I mean, the art style will take some time getting used to, but I'll quickly adjust since unlike Kathleen Kennedy, where she is slowly losing my faith and the faith of a lot of other fans, Dave Filoni been that's my faith, regardless of how I feel about the animation style, and even if I had some skepticisms about the show, Dave Filoni has my full-on trust to make it work, because the Clone Wars and the Rebel shows are two of my favorite shows ever. Even to this day, and I'm 22 years old, and I'm a man. I don't care if you guys say, "Oh, you are immature. You are into cartoon shows." Okay, if me being into cartoon shows, trying to makes me immature in your eyes, which I'm not into like all those cartoon shows back when I was a kid. Then okay, that's what you guys think. I'm not gonna let that affect me. But regardless of how I feel about the animation style and the timeline, Dave Filoni has full confidence. Seeing how I liked like most of the episodes of Clone Wars and Rebels, I'm admitting there was a few episodes in Clone Wars and Rebels where I want like but this was only like about what 5, maybe 10 episodes, if even. It's not many episodes where I said Rebels and Clone Wars combined. So, and yeah, like I said, Clone Wars and Rebels are my two favorite shows. Anyways, how do you guys feel about the solo Star Wars story? Are you guys gonna see it? Not see it? Do you guys like the idea? Do you guys hate the idea that Han Solo's getting his own movie? What do you guys feel about them potentially redoing Leia, like bringing Leia in Episode 9? Guys, do you guys want to see Lando back in both Resistance and Episode 9? So I forget if I asked that already. And what movie or movies do you guys wish to see in this Star Wars, this new canon universe? Oh, and I finally forgot the other movie I was trying to say. Besides Kenobi and the Old Republic movies that I want to see, the Force Unleashed movie. I want to see a Force Unleashed movie, or at least a Starkiller movie. I don't care if it's called the Force Unleashed. Just a story, just a movie where I could say, yeah, Starkiller is not only canon in my heart anymore, he's officially canon. Because Starkiller was canon before Disney bought Lucasfilms. And when Disney's films, the canon never got like reset. So now what was canon before Disney bought Lucasfilms is now Legends. So anyways, may the force be with you and happy return of the this video in 3, 2,